creativity. We get free, be me, working effortlessly. Do what you love and then allow the prosperity. You got this. Make good, make it your own. You know you got the power in your mind, heart, body, and soul to grow dreams, grow faith, grow you. Create authentically in the garden of good. Live, and love. In a God gonna dig big and trust. In a God gonna create, elevate, celebrate, and love. To the garden. Hey. We're going to create, we're going to elevate, and we're going to celebrate. We're going to ate. We're going to ate it up. Welcome to the Garden of Good. Hello, Vicky and Lisa and Zarina and Jennifer. And AJ is with us, and Loretta. I think that's Kat, maybe the other person who's here. Well, anyway, I'm just so happy you're here. Hi, I'm Amy Steinberg. You know who I am if you're here. If you're watching this later, welcome to the Garden of Good. This is my home in Asheville, North Carolina, and this is a place where we come together to create good in the world. Little ripples, little ripples. That's what we're doing here. And I always like to start. Well, I'm gonna wait to do the map lighting because I feel like there's gonna be a few more people that trickle in. So instead, I will start with what we do here. I will return to our lighting up the world once we maybe have a few more people in here, because I don't want anybody to be left out of that. You know, today is adventure, and I think it's not 45. I think it's 46. But I forgot to change them. Maybe, I don't know. Listen, it's 40 something. We've been doing this a minute. We've been doing this a minute, and yep, see, I knew people were going to be trickling in. And this week it's adventure, and it's similar to last week in the way that the word adventure led me somewhere else. Hi, Kim, welcome, and hi, Somra. I think you're connecting, and adventure has led me to interesting things to share with you today and interesting inquiries for us to have together. As you know, the Garden of Good has been a year-long program where we do 3-month stints, heart, mind, body, soul. We're in the end of the soul. I mean, we are right there. This is the second to last prompt in the book that we're on today, which is adventure. And I'm really excited about it. What we were doing is every quarter we picked a root and a fruit, and something that we'd like to do on the inside, and then something we would like to manifest on the outside. Welcome, Cindy. So glad that you're here, my love. And there's just some things I'd like to remind us of at the top, which is to be kind. Mostly and primarily to yourself, okay? Because you're doing some inner work, you're doing some artistic expression, and we can be very hard on ourselves. And joy is my favorite acronym. You know, I'm acro happy. I call myself acro happy. I love acronyms, but just open yourself might be my favorite. If I was pressed to pick a favorite acronym, it would be joy. Just open yourself, because we can experience joy even in grief, even in sorrow, because joy is that openness, that place where God can show up even, when we're in pain. The gardener's choice means you get to do whatever you want. Hi, Martha. Welcome. And your camera is always optional. If you just kind of want to listen in, you're not sure you want to, do everything or be a part of the talk back stuff, it's fine. And it is always confidential. Yes. So before we light up the garden, I want to do a chant that I wrote for us today, because as I was thinking about adventure, it just came to me so easily and effortlessly that the truest adventure is the adventure home, right? Home to the heart and home to the self. And we can go away, but we're always coming back. Right? We can go away, but we're always coming back. And, I've been going away a lot physically. I've been actually going away a lot. And every time I come home, I feel like the bond with home gets stronger every time I go away. Every time you go away. Isn't that a song? You take a piece. Anyway, so this is going to be a real fun little chant I wrote for you today. I invite you to sing along. I always write easy to sing chants because we should all be singing, we should all be drawing, we should all be creating, yes? Return return, return to love, return to love and peace. Return, return, return to good. Return, come home to me. You got it? Return, return, return to love. Return, return to love and peace. Just wrote it today. Return, return, return to good. Return, come home to me. Let's do it again. Return, return, return to love. Return to love and peace. Return, return, return to good. Return, come home to me. Let's do it again. Return, return, return to love. Return, return to me. Oh, am I not spotlit? I'm just pinned. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, I'll return, return, return to good. I return, I come home to me. Come on, get it going. Return, return, return to love. I see you. Return to love and peace. Return, return, return to good. Return, come home to me, yeah. Come on, yeah. Return, return, return to love. Return to love and peace. It's your nature. Return, return, return to good. Return, come home to me. Let's do it one last time. Make it your own, all right? Here, make it your own. Just do whatever. Return, return. You know what I mean? Make it your own. Nobody can hear you. I see Lisa rocking out. Return, return, return to love. Return to love and peace. Return, return, return to good. Return, come home to me. Last part. Return, come home to me. All right, so how about now, while I'm still playing, we start talking about the light. The light is in Madison, Alabama. Imagine that whole state of Alabama lighting up. And that light reaches down to Ocala, Florida. Yeah, Loretta, thank you for doing the hand movements since I can't do them and I play piano at the same time. So that light moves down to Ocala, Florida. And then it goes up to Warwick, Rhode Island, lighting up that whole East Coast back down to Charlotte and Asheville and Pittsburgh. Reverend Christie's here. And we have Kim in Kentucky. Gosh, this whole East Coast is lighting up. Nameless Tennessee. Yeah. And we're going to bring to mind our gardeners that are on the West Coast that couldn't be here tonight. Lisa Petrich. Sherry Hauser out there in Canada. All of the world. Let's light up the whole world. Let's light up for Kaz over there in the United Kingdom. Filling this whole globe with our love. Returning it to its homeostasis. The spirit of this world. Just a big ball of love coming out here from, we are broadcasting it from wherever we're tuning in. And let's sing it one more time. Come on. I can hear you singing, Kim. Come on. Return, return, return Return to love and peace. Return, return, return to good. Return, come on home to me. Coming home to me. We are coming home to our divinity. Last week we did an affirmation together, and I follow a wonderful minister who I just absolutely love the idea of reading together, saying words together collectively as a group. I think that it's powerful. So let's say this together if you can read it. Here we go. I am returning to an awareness of the truth that I am. I am whole love. I am an exquisite expression of creative life, and my life is mine to create. I return to who I am. I am love. I am peace. I am the spirit of adventure, which is what today's word is, adventure. Take a deep breath in with me. And I'll ground us with a small prayer, just saying thank you, God, for this time together, for this internet, for this magic of reaching out, speaking my word, and it being received and then recreated through others, and this beautiful community of love that is the Garden of Good. I know that tonight is special, as every Tuesday that we join together is special. I know that each and every person is here that is meant to be here, and that hearts are opened and lives are shifted, and that vibrates out, and those little ripples that echo out into the world create more good in the world, as it is already all good. Yes. And we just say thank you. Thank you for this fun, for this time, for this freedom. And so it is. And now I will tell you what I've been up to before I ask you about you. Hey, it's idea time. Roots and Fruits with Amy. So I'm back from Austin, and I wanted to show you a picture of the space that I did minister in. It was a church, Unity Church of Austin, and there were 2 TVs on either side of the stage, and I was able to show the videos that I created for the show, and it was about 25, 30 people that I did not know, which was really, really cool. Because I got to see, is this show going to work for people who have no idea who I am? You know what I mean? Like, I wrote this show, and can anybody see it and get touched and moved by it? And it was answered with a resounding yes. I had a fantastic time. I really settled into the show. I've been settling into the show and just appreciating what the show is really saying, which nutshell version is shine your light, you be you. Let's let spirit take us on an adventure with a doodle. So I wound up creating this, and it's a process. I'm going to show you the process that I did. And what we're going to do is start at the center of your page. Get out your markers, because this is going to take color. This is a really interesting concept that it literally just came through me, and I think it's very cool. And I really don't know if there's any legitimate anything to it, except for that it came through. So I am God. Everything is God. You're God. We're going to experience this idea. So what I did was I said, we're going to start at the center with the heart, because that's what the center of everything is, right? The center of everything is love. I really believe that. And then the interesting thing to do next is to take a dark pen, not black, because we want black for the second part of the exercise. So like a dark blue or a green. It doesn't even have to be dark, but something that you can really see. And what you're going to do is you're going to just create an adventure. You're going to let your pen just draw randomly, and you're going to go all over, looping, turning. You might fall off the page like I just did, and then just bring it back to the heart, right? That is my second try at this. Do you see this? So it's just wild, right? Let your pen go a little bit wild, but make it be intentional, right? You're on a journey, you're on an adventure, and you're going around and you're looping around, and then you're going back to the center. Just like that, Zarina. That's perfect. Yeah, let me show. Zarina will show hers. Just to give you an example, perfect. That is absolutely perfect, okay? Now, what you're going to do, this is kind of crazy, you're going to do it again, trying to follow that same line, but leave about like a ½ inch between it. Mm-hmm. So it's like you're doing the same pattern again, but just like kind of follow it, because you might not be able to see it exactly, but follow it again, but leave a little bit of space, but you're just going to go over it again, the same pattern as much as you can. Like right now, mine was really messy that time. So, and it might look a little bit like this. So it's like, kind of looks like the same pattern, but kind of not. Kind of like our lives. We tend to do the same shit over and over again. Maybe expecting different results. That's right. And then once you've done that, you're going to do it another time. And this time it's going to be interesting because it's going to be harder to sort of see what the original path was, right? But you're just going to kind of fill in whatever extra holes you have too. Like use the space that you have left to create more little spaces. For instance, like this. I just filled it in. So it's just a bunch of squiggles, really. That's all it is. There's no real rhyme or reason to it. You'll see. There's method to my madness always, right? So this is what you're going to do right now. And you could just even, if you want to fill in some holes so you don't have too big of spaces between anything, you can like make a line here and there if you don't want like a big hole, if you want them to be sort of, because basically we're going to color it in like that original, that first thing that you see in the chat that Chrislyn has there. And of course, I always like to color in rainbow because I'm a rainbow girly. But if you want yours to be blues and greens, you could use blues and greens. But what I tend to do with a doodle like this is if I'm going to do red, I'll take my red out and then I'll just
red.
You love red? We love red. I'm going to mute you. So if you like red, you space it out. You do, reds that aren't close to each other. And then you can go through the rainbow. You can do oranges and yellows. Somra, question?
What was the third track that we're doing?
Random? The third track is trying to follow it again with a little bit of space between it, but making like filling in the holes. In other words, if you had like space, just making it another doodle like that. Just basically making a mess, which is kind of what life is, right? Some crazy, looks like chaos, right? Looks like a mess, but it's really not once you see what we're going to do. So after you have got your little spaces, I want you to fill them in with different colors. And you'll continue filling in your colors while I give you a teeny tiny talk. And by the time I'm done with my talk, I imagine that your colors will be mostly filled in. But there's no rush. Enjoy the journey of filling in the colors. And as you fill in the colors, you can think about the turns and the twists. I mean, you'll be listening to my talk, but also just think about this idea that life is filled with, it's an adventure, and it's filled with these twists and these turns. And sometimes we go over the same things over and over again and we turn around, but it's all creating this tapestry of your life, right? All of these colors, all of these experiences. And you could think of every red bubble as a pain or a hurt. And you could think of every green thing as a new love. And you could think of every, however you want your brain to kind of process this idea of life is such an adventure. It's filled with so many colors. It's so wonderful. I was talking to my friend Christy today. I think she's still listening, about wonder. And I'm going to give you this little talk that I've titled The Adventure of Returning to Center, because really what you want to do is keep coming back to that heart, right? That's what we do, is we keep coming back to the heart. No matter what, we are returning to center. So tonight, we're in the soul quarter, and we turn to this idea of adventure, not as something outside of us, though, as something kind of in the complex patterns of our inner lives. Adventure is often imagined in this sort of big, bold, dramatic travel or risks or leaps of faith. But the deepest adventures aren't measured in miles. They are measured in awarenesses, in the loops, the twists that our lives take, the ways we return to ourselves again and again, changed and yet somehow unchanged. Because one of my favorite ideas, I think it's Zen tradition, is no matter where you go, there you are. I tend to say it, there's no there there. There's no there there. It's like the simplest, most spiritual truth, right? But the simplicity is deceiving, because what it really means is that everything you are seeking out there is also in here. And everything that you're running from out there is also in here. So life's great adventure is not about escaping ourselves, but meeting ourselves over and over with more compassion every time. That's like what my show is about too, right? Like witnessing. So these loops and these twists and these turns, they teach us. When we talk about patterns and loops and changes, we're talking about the shape of our living. So maybe you've noticed that there's a pattern that keeps surfacing, a fear, a relationship dynamic, a belief about your worth, a tendency you thought you'd outgrown. Maybe you move to a new city, you take a new job, you begin a new routine, and the same damn motif happens again. It's like a melody that you recognize. And of course, Carl Jung says what we resist persists. And I think that we can add also that what we resist will continue looping until we meet it with love, because these loops, these patterns are not punishments. They're invitations to pull us inside, inward. Okay. Life has a way of circling us back, not to defeat us, but to integrate us. It helps us become steady at the center instead of dizzy at the edges. And I feel like that experience I had in Austin this weekend was very much this centering of this idea of what my personal mission is as a musician, as an artist, as a minister. And this idea of returning to love, return, that little chant that I wrote, and I love that that's a Marianne Williamson book too, Return to Love. Adventure may sort of be something that takes us out of our comfort zone, right? But true adventure, inner or outer, brings us back to center, back to the heart, back to clarity, to that still point that doesn't move, even when everything else does, even when everything's just swirling around us. And Ernest Holmes describes love as the self-givingness of spirit through the desire of life to express itself. What that really means is that love is always at the center. Love is always the truth that we return to. We can always choose to return to love. Say, I can always choose to return to love. I can always choose to return to love. This weekend when I was in Austin, my talk was I titled my talk Insist on Bliss, which if you know my music, that's from my song Power. But bliss, I was acro happy and I came up with the acronym Be Love in Sweet Surrender. It also could be love in shitty situations, right? Be love in severe situations. Be life in sweet surrender. Like life is happening. Life is happening all around us. And it's just like, I let go. And I surrender to the gravity of God that is inside. So here's like the paradox of adventure. When we feel lost, we're usually moving towards something ancient and familiar. Even when everything looks like chaos, the path is quietly curving back home. Even when we think we've wandered too far, the center is still right there, waiting. There's another aspect of adventure that I like, this idea of change. Change. Adventure is change. When we decide to make a change, make a choice inside. Adventure is that change. Change is movement. Movement is life. Alan Watts, my favorite philosopher, says the only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it, move with it, and join the dance. And that's why we're doodling loops that double back, that cross, that wander and return, because this is how wisdom forms in us, not in straight lines, but spirals. Your life is not linear. Healing is not linear. Becoming is not linear. It's like the spiral, coming back to the same places on the wheel, but with more awareness, with more softness, with more courage. What maybe once confused you might now feel familiar. What might have scared you might feel like it's opening. And what broke you is always a blessing in disguise. I always say the heart breaks open to make more room for love. That's Wayne Dyer. Adventure is not always dramatic. Sometimes it's just simply the courage to see an old pattern with new eyes. So the deepest truth tonight is that the center is the love of God living as us. We do not return to love because it was missing. We return to love because we are it. Okay? We are it. That's that little heart at the center of your doodle. We're all just walking each other home. That's the Ram Dass quote that we all know. In New Thought, we add something essential to that. What are we walking toward already lives within us. The home of the soul, my little dollhouse, the home of the soul. The center of God's love expressing uniquely as each of us. So the adventure is not finding God, but remembering that God is who you are. Love in motion, love in learning, love is looping, love evolving. Every twist, every turn, it brings us back to remember who we are, which is an expression of the divine, made of love, returning to love, expanding as love. Okay. So now I want you to revisit your love loop, okay? And your loop. Go back to your loop, okay? And this time, now that, I guess mine's not colored in, but yours is going to be colored in. Imagine that this is all colored in. No. This must be like a fluke. It's not a fluke. And it's kind of like this idea that like all paths lead you home. So here's one, and we're going to go, I'm just like picking lines, any lines, right? I'm just picking, they're not together. I'm just going over whatever I see. Back to the heart. I'm going to pick another one. I'm literally going to pick whatever, back to the heart. That was a fast one. You see how I'm picking different lines from different paths? Back to the heart. Do you see that? Try it for yourself and tell me that it's not real. Tell me that I'm not crazy. And it's to me, it's kind of crazy because it's like, wait a minute, all of this is chaos. All of this is all these different lines and loops. And how does it all lead back to the center? How? Well, I think it's because everything was created from the heart and went back to the heart. So there's no way to not go back to the heart. I mean, I know it seems kind of obvious, but it seemed interesting to me that you could hop over to the other path. You could change trajectory. You could go to that loop. You could make another choice, make another decision, and you're still going to come back no matter what. Even if you loop around the same loop over and over and over again, you're eventually going to want to get out of that loop, right? You're not going to want to stay looping and looping and looping the same thing. You're going to want to change it and get back to that heart. You're going to want to go back to the heart. It's the natural instinct. And something about this little doodle really spoke to me about adventure. Make a choice. Take that risk. Make that move. Sell the house. Because guess what? It's all coming from the heart. It's all going to the heart. We can make the mistake. We can do the thing. It's okay. It's okay. And I was thinking about what the Amy Steinberg ministry is. The Amy Steinberg ministry is fuck it, do it. Fuck it, do it. Because I mess up so much, you guys. I don't just mess up like forgetting a lyric on stage. Like I mess up in my friendships. I say the wrong thing. I mess up in my finances. I forget to pay a bill sometimes. I mess up. How you do one thing is how you do all things, guys. So you see me being creative? Well, I'm always creative. There's that lady that does those videos on Facebook that's like, people are so creative. Look at this woman making a mushroom souffle with marshmallows, And I just kind of think like, as I grow older and I become more of whatever this God self-identified thing is as Amy Steinberg, I go, this is how I'm made. This is how I'm made. I'm made to create. I'm made to make mistakes. One of the things in Alcoholics Anonymous they always talk about is that, there's on one hand, you have people saying like resentment, you can't have resentments, you can't have anger, right? You hear that in the rooms of recovery. But then you hear like that anger, God will use your anger. God will use the creative power, always uses your quote defects of character or like me making a mess all the time. Guess what? I also make a garden of good. So what's your, and I think that the journey becomes about coming home to yourself and allowing yourself to be who you are fully. Whether it's you like to color in the lines and you like to pay your bills on time and you like to have your things organized perfectly like Zarina, it looks like she's coming into that space, which I wish that would rub off on me a little bit. But, we each have this divine expression of God that is so perfectly you, And I definitely, you know me, I talk a lot about envy or looking at other people's strengths and feeling like, well, why isn't that my strength? Well, I think that's part of the spiritual journey is coming to that place of like, if I wasn't me, I would want to be me. That's how we should all feel. If I wasn't me, I'd want to be me. Because you know what? You're amazing. Each and every one of you is amazing. For some reason, the people drawn to the Garden of Good has been one amazing person after another. Just talented, brilliant, smart, because like attracts like, y'all. Like attracts like. Also, another thing that's come into my awareness recently is how incredibly important it is to play. It's just, that's another part of my ministry. Y'all, people are so serious right now. There is such a seriousness in the air. And I am sorry, my ministerial teacher told me that God, our purpose here is joy. Your purpose here is God's joy, to be the joy of God in this world. And so if you're not experiencing joy, it might be that you need a little more. Like I think about that Bill Murray movie, Stripes, where the guy goes, "Don't call me Francis," and he goes, "Lighten up, Francis." Does anybody remember that? That's like a phrase that I say often. I said it this weekend. I was staying with my friend in Austin, and she's very serious, and I can say that about her because she admits it. She's like, "God, I wish I could be more free like you." I'm like, "Lighten up, Francis." You know. You know, and then there's the other part that does need that discipline, right? Like, I'm not saying go off the rails, right? All right, so my doodle did not turn out as good as my first one, but I wonder if there's maybe any insights that anybody would like to share about that doodle. I'm sure. Me, because I grew up Jewish and we didn't really have Advent, but I do like this concept of like every day is like leading to Christmas, the return to the light, right? Which is what Christmas is to me. And I love that Advent is the first part of the word adventure. And today is adventure. So I thought, well, let's do an Advent, like a return to the light. The Advent is return to the light. So I thought we write a little poem, and I sat with it and I said, I'm just going to write a little poem called Return. And I want you to all write a little poem called Return or something along those lines. And I'm going to read you mine. And mine does have a rhyme scheme, but you don't have to do it. Mine's just like AABB, I think. So this is what mine is. And this is, again, no judgment. You don't have to be, William Wordsworth. You can just be like in the flow. This is just loosening your inner poet. Mine says, Return. Come back to the quiet after the party has died down. Return to the place where peace is found. Believe that even now you can learn. Again, around, return, return. And then after I was done with that poem, I thought of the word return. How often do you think about the word return as being actually turning? You don't think about it right? Like I see Somra is getting what I'm saying. Like this idea of like we're spinning around and we're returning. That just is, everything winds up being cyclical with us as humans, because I think of the fact that we're in this space situation where we're going around this ball, around this other ball. There's this, we're turning every year. And that's why I love holidays. Holidays are this, and turning of the year. I love New Year's. I love New Year's Eve, which, by the way, we are definitely on for New Year's Eve. Moment to say thank you for the financial abundance that you guys give to me in the garden. Very oftentimes I get very surprised. I'll just like get a love offering in the middle of the week. Some of you are sneaky with it. You give it at random times and it makes me feel so happy. I'm in the middle of something and then boop, it pops up on my phone and that just makes me feel wonderful. I just am so grateful to the Gardeners of Good. And of course, it's always just a love offering. It's whatever your heart feels you receive. Today, you get to give back and watch the loop. Watch the return. Watch that whatever you give returns to you tenfold. It is crazy. And it is holiday time, so I am going to give one more shout out for the good old garden gram. Okay? Y'all can make a turn here. We still have a few weeks left in this year if you want to give a garden gram. And I do want to make an announcement that if you weren't here last week, I'm going to keep doing the Garden of Good. I have not decided. I'm not giving it up because I just love it too much. So I'm going to start the year off again. I am going to I'm considering using the book again.
Yes.
Because I feel like the prompts would be usable again. And so I just think it would be really fun, and why not? So
I was just thinking that, Amy, today. I was
I'm
thinking,
so glad
we could
because some
just use
people
that
never
book
even got the
again.
book. Some
Yeah.
people have the book and didn't do it in the book. I mean, I know
Yep.
Cindy did, but Cindy, if she comes back, I know she's going to be busy doing other stuff, but if she comes back, she can always get a new journal for her new run
Right.
through the book.
And I didn't
And
use my whole
I,
book
Because
yet.
now I
So
get to do it in the book. That's exciting.
exactly, it might be
Because I
fun,
did
right?
it this time. So
From the
that
top.
was
Some
yes.
people came in late
Yep.
throughout the year, whatever.
nice.
I love the book. The book is
The book's
Make Good,
great.
Cultivating Joy with Creativity. It's available on Amazon. And this is my affirmation card of the day. I return and return, always learning, always whole. That is and I always do it. I show off my affirmation cards, which is another thing that if you come and you start the beginning of the year, this is all year long. This is like 46 cards. And that is just cool. I have a deck of positive affirmations that I can always pull from. If I'm in the middle of not knowing what to do or not knowing where to go, I can just turn over and it says right here, look, it is my nature to create. I mean, it's just the things that come up and that we've gone through together in here have been so marvelous. So home play, meaning your homework, if you want to take this to another level. One, return to an adventurous mindset. So meaning that you can always return to love. You can always return to joy. Return. Number two, plan your next great adventure. If it is actually something like what keeps popping into my head, and I try not to have this dream, but it keeps coming back, is to go to Paris. I've never been. I want to go to Paris. So that is something that is on my mind and always pops up. And then track the patterns of your heart path. I just wrote that because I thought it might be interesting to see, like, do I do this over and over again? Am I making the same choices that are leading me back to any kind of discomfort or pain, or do I need to make another change? You guys have been with me through getting off sugar like 3 times this year. Like I've been like, I'm off sugar, I'm not doing sugar. And then I'll eat sugar again and not on, off on. And I'm considering going off of it again, perhaps in the new year. I don't know. In the meantime, let them eat cake. Tomorrow is AJ's birthday. Be sure to send her a little note.
So taking a nice deep breath, drawing it into your body, letting it feel like it goes everywhere, down to your little toes.
Wait, I'll mute everyone. Hold on a minute. Sorry. Okay, we'll start over.
Well, I know there is only one life, and we're living it, and we're living it creatively. It is a joy to be here. It is a joy to be living creatively in this wonderful, wonderful atmosphere of a good place to be. So I know that each and every one of us has come together today to fulfill ourselves, to expand ourselves, to reach deeply into the joy of our life in this creation, and allowing those creations to keep manifesting in front of us, around us, through us, as us. I know that each of us is a divine being, and it's so wonderful to be here together. So I turn this over to Christy.
Oh, yes, and recognizing and honoring the wisdom, the love of Reverend Lorraine, I express gratitude for the recognition of the creativity of each of us here, the unique and beautiful expressions of God that we are, that is inspired, the awareness inspired by Amy as she guides us in activities, in reflection, in celebration of life. And with a heart full of thanks for this class, for each person here, for the ideas that have come forth and the seeds of new experiences that have been sown. I say thank you, and I know we all go forth uplifted, inspired, and wonderful new experiences are coming forth. And knowing this is so, I say, and so it is.
Oh, it is.
So it
Oh, it
is.
is.
Wow,
Thank
how
you.
amazing to have the two of you. And has a wonderful preparation for the holidays. You enjoy yourself, whether it's shopping or creating gifts. Maybe this year we create gifts for our beloved ones, like Zarina is doing, and we have fun and we keep it light, and we know that God is good. And so it is. And I'll be sticking around after the outro for just a quick hello if you'd like to stick around for some laissez-faire. That's not the right word. For just some chat. I love you. I love you. I love you. Here we go. Play, pray, slay. In the dark, gonna make good today. In the dark, gonna create, elevate, celebrate, and love. I'm Amy from the GOG, Garden of Good Creativity. We get free, be me, working effortlessly. Do what you love and then allow the prosperity. You got this. Make good, make it your own. You know you got the power in your mind, heart, body, and soul to grow dreams, grow faith, grow you. Create authentically in the Garden of Good.